Hello, my craft friends. This is Rbjewelz with STL Handmade Craft Spot. I'm working in conjunction with Tiny Pandora as a member of the Be Seen, Be Known 2019 design team. And today I'm going to bring you a special little project. I'm going to show you how to make a jeweled clay little polymer art bowl. And to do this, you're going to use, you can take any small bowl of your size. You're going to use any texture sheet that you want to use. You're going to need an acrylic roller. You're going to need a tissue blade. You're going to need a piece of coordinating polymer clay cane. And you're going to need to use a clay cane of your choice. As you can see here, I've already cut all of the clay sheets, which you're going to need a minimum of 30 little slices and maybe 5 or 6 extra pieces just in case the other slices doesn't work. So let's get started. So I'm going to move all of this aside. And this is a fairly simple project, very easy to follow along. You kind of just move this off. This is my little glass tray that I use in my project, so we're just going to kind of move this aside. And before I line all of the clay sheets, I'm going to show you that you're going to take a 9.5-inch slice. A 9-inch little block of a clay cane that you want to use. If you're familiar with making polymer clay canes, then you would make one first before you proceed with this project. And you would take your tissue blade and you would cut right down into the clay cane, looking down over it, and you would cut your slices as thin as you can for this project. You could probably cut it a little bit thinner than this, but you want to cut it as thin as you possibly can for this project. So we're going to set that aside. So with these slices, you're actually just going to line them up side by side. Even if they're a little weird looking, just line them up. Sometimes the weirder the look, the better. It would give you something really unique and unexpected. So you would do this, you can do it 5 by 5s, 5 by 6, or 6 by 5. Doesn't matter because you're going to roll it out anyway. Excuse me. Voice still a little wonky, sinus is bothering me this morning, but we're going to move forward. And you're going to continue to line up these sheets. And while we're doing this, I will tell you a little bit about how I actually met Tiny Pandora. I followed her videos for a very long time. When I got interested into learning how to make, polymer clay canes, and she actually gave me some guidance. In what I was doing right and what I was doing wrong. And after looking at a few of her videos, I did a lot of research and study moving forward on my own, and just kept going, not realizing she had been still watching me as I was moving forward in my polymer clay journey. And then I joined her group. And, when she presented me with the opportunity, because she had been watching, I considered myself grateful that someone such as herself would, consider me for such a wonderful opportunity, which it is. And I'm thankful and I'm grateful to Tiny Pandora. So you want to continue to stack up these little sheets. This part can be a little tedious, but sometimes the best work is the work that you just take your time and put together. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have one more row to do, just one more row. Just one more row to do. Yep. You would think that it would actually be winter time, but it's not. The temperature constantly goes up and down, which is causing which is wreaking havoc on my sinuses, but we're going to move forward. Okay. So you want to get all of your little sheets lined up, and it doesn't matter if they look a little out of sorts because this isn't the finished process. Next, we're going to take a very unique item, this sheet of paper right here. You can use a piece of copy paper or wax paper. I've tested them both. The wax paper has a tendency to make it a very sticky process when you want to lay it down and roll over the clay because of the oils that's inside of the wax paper. So it has a tendency to stick to it. But tissue paper, but regular copy paper, on the other hand, if you lay it down, some of the oils will leach onto the paper, but it will not stick as quickly as a piece of wax paper. So we're going to use a piece of regular copy paper, and we're going to lay it down over the square pieces here, and we're going to roll over it. You can roll over it kind of vigorously because it's attached to your work surface. It's only when we lift it up and you roll over it gently, and that's just to make sure that there isn't any high surfaces or any bumps or anything like that. So we're just going to smooth it out. So you're going to start basically just rolling it out like this, and you're going to go back and forwards. And you want to put a little bit of muscle in it. And also, too, it also helps to keep the style of the design. It doesn't get distorted as you rolling it out like this. So we're going to lift it up the first time to see what it looks like. So as you can see, it comes up a little bit easy. We still have a couple of spots here, and this is what I was talking about when you gently go over it and you roll it over like this. And you can do it once or twice, and put a little, you can put a little bit of muscle into it, again, because it's attached. Okay, and then you put your sheet back over it again and roll it out. And this is, you know, can be a little bit time consuming, but I like showing all of the steps so you don't miss anything. Because working with polymer clay is not unlike other crafts or art. It really does take time. And so what you want to do is take your tissue blade, and you want to put it up under one side of your sheet, because now it's becoming a sheet. The slices are sticking to themselves. As you can see, they're starting to stick to themselves. And we're going to lay it over this way. Lay it down one more time. Put the sheet over it. Again, and we just want to make sure that all of the sheets are stuck together. The little clay squares are stuck together, so it'll be one large sheet. And we should be able to finally just pull this off. We want the sheet to be kind of thick for this project. We're going to set that aside. we want it, and you're going to go over it just one more time, just once. Okay, and as you can see, the design in your clay doesn't get distorted at all, really. You want to lift it up, and we're going to look at it. You want to do this gently. I may appear to be doing it a little rough because I've done it a lot, but this is pretty much how your clay cane veneer looks. Okay, and you want to set that aside. The next step is to take a package of polymer clay of your choice. You want to cut and condition your polymer clay. Put it through the pasta machine 20 to 30 times. And and then we're going to, my voice is horrible this morning. And then we're going to take the texture sheet and we're going to lay the texture sheet on top of this. So you want to lay it down like so. Choose whatever side you want. I tried to choose a texture sheet that would kind of coordinate it just a little bit in terms of the geometric design of the piece. And you just want to roll over it and capture the design onto the clay. You can set that aside, lift this up, and you want to do this on the largest setting on your pasta machine. You want this piece as thick as you possibly can get it. And then you want to lay it on the back side gently, and you want to take your sheet and you want to lay it down on the opposite side of the clay. And you just want to roll over it gently, because remember, now the other side is textured. You just want to make sure that this side of it, the clay is adhered to the non-textured side. It doesn't take much for that. So now what you want to do is just clean up your edges. And just set the pieces aside once you clean them up. So there you have it. You can stretch it out a little bit, because we want to make sure that it can fit over your little dish. So here's your texture side of it, and here's the veneer side. So next you want to choose a little bowl. I got this from the little dollar section from Target. When you walk in the door, depending on how the store is designed in your area, they always have these little areas where they have like things for $1, $2, $5, and I thought this was a cute little plate. It's a lemon actually, and you can always go to your dollar store and get a little plate, or you may have one laying around. So next what you want to do is take your clay sheet and you want to lay it down. And like I said, you might have to stretch it out a bit to make sure that it fits. And don't worry about it because clay is very forgiving, very malleable. You know, you don't have to fret. And you want to make sure that it fits. And it's good to do it by hand. Don't roll over it because it will distort the design even more when you do that, and you don't want that to happen. So let's kind of like continue to stretch this out a little bit. And it is distorting it a little bit, but that's okay. As long as you do it with your hand, it doesn't get as distorted as it would have gotten if you had done it with the acrylic roller. You have way more control with it when you're doing it yourself. And just a little bit more on this end. And now it should fit. Okay. The clay is actually very cold because I let it sit overnight. So I'm actually warming it up while I'm working with it, and it's still cold because I don't have anything on in my studio to reduce the noise. So we're going to have to continue to work with it until it becomes the size that I need it. So, and I think we have it. And what you're going to do, you're going to lay it down on the bowl or little dish, because that's what this is actually. And you want to press it in. And you want to make sure there are no air bubbles at all. And you want to press it out. And just make sure that it's adhered to the bowl. You don't need any TLS, you know, liquid Sculpey. You don't need any of those products because the clay is raw. It will adhere to the bowl by itself. And once you're satisfied with the bowl in this stage, you turn it over like so, and you'll lay it down and take your tissue blade, and you will simply just go around the bowl, the whole bowl. And folks, I am left-handed, so my hands may oftentimes get in the way of my projects. Because that's just the way it is sometimes. Okay, cut all of that aside. Cut all of that off and put your scrap aside. And you want to raise your bowl up. And this is pretty much how it looks. And what you want to do now is just, you want to take your tissue blade and go around the side of it. And make sure that you cut off any excess clay. And you do this until you're satisfied with it, with the shape of it. And you can shape it a little bit around around the sides, and now it's ready to go in the oven. So we're finished curing this bowl in the toaster oven or in a convection oven. And I forgot to mention that you use the recommended temperatures on the polymer clay package for the clay cane that you're using. So to release this dish from the bowl, you're just going to take your tissue blade and you're just going to work it in on the sides. Okay. And you want to slide it up under there. And once you do that, you take that aside and gently just push it up. And it comes apart just like that. And you want to set that aside. And then what you want to do, because the edge has a tendency to, you might have like a sharp edge on the side. You literally just want to take your tissue blade and go around the edge of your piece like this around the whole entire clay piece. And what it does, it just gets rid of any sharp or, you know, hard edges off of the clay piece. And you want to do this on the top part as well as the bottom part, just to make sure that it's kind of smooth. And you do it until you are actually happy with it. And or you can use a sander, or you can buff. I'm personally not a fan of buffing. I only do it when I absolutely have to. So once you do that, clean all of this aside. Ooh. And there is a shiny side to this piece. If you would like, you can leave it like this. I personally like the little shiny side because it adds texture to the piece. And this is pretty much how it looks once you finish. Tiny Pandora has a product called Deep Shine. If you would like to add a little bit of shine to it, you can use the Deep Shine. It's a UV product that you use with a UV lamp. And you can add a little bit of shine and gloss to it and make it even much more prettier. Or you can leave it with a matte finish like this. And then you just take, you know, take your favorite pieces of jewelry and put it in there. And there you have it, folks, your little ring dish. I hope you enjoyed this project, and see you next time.